Good morning and welcome to another Talk to Me Thursday live. On Thursdays, we go live about various different topics as it relates to taxes, business, finances, all the things. And I'm answering questions that I see come up in communities and Facebook groups, all the things. And one trending topic that continues to show up that I see is concerning should you be an LLC or a PLLC, or should you be an S-Corp, right? So we're going to talk about it on today. If you are new to me, I am Chastity Grady at my company, Grady Tax Plus. It is our number one goal to make sure that we are keeping the IRS out of your pockets so that you can live a better life, right? So that you can live a better life. Why? Because you deserve it. Additionally, my goal is that social workers and therapists in business be financially successful. That is my mission as well. My background is as a licensed clinical social worker, making me the go-to expert for mental health professionals. Okay, so that's my spiel. Let's go ahead and get to it. So, in regards to today, we're talking about LLC slash PLLC versus an S corp, right? And this, I don't know why this particular topic, why this particular subject cause anxiety, cause confusion for people, but it's very, very simple, right? It's very, very simple. That's why in my understanding small business taxes training that I do, I give you the training on the knowledge on business structure, right? Because when you understand business structure, then you are able to understand how things flow, what goes where, what to do when, right? And so when you think about LLC and a PLLC, those are just legal entities. And I'll be using both LLCs and PLLCs because I know when you're a licensed professional, some states require that you get a PLLC if that's the structure that they have for you. Or other states don't have that designation. So other states, they just have the LLC. Or if you're in California, then you have to get a professional corporation, which is a PC. Okay. Generally speaking, I'm going to just reference LLC slash PLLC for the purpose of this live. So all of that is just a legal entity. It's a legal structure. It's for you to have protection to limit your liability. That's literally the name of the structure, limited liability company. Is to limit your liability. So if you were to ever get sued, that LLC, that PLLC is there to limit that ability for that to happen. Okay, limits your liability. So I also hear when clinicians or just people who are wanting to start their business, sometimes you just stay as a solopreneur, you stay as an independent contractor, you stay as someone who's doing something on the side. But the thing with that is that you are not legally protecting the thing that you're doing, right? I don't know about you, but when you are in business, and I'm going to refer to being in business because the IRS considers you being a business owner. If you are simply just an independent contractor, if you are simply a sole proprietor, the IRS still considers you a business owner no matter if you decide to legally make it official. Okay. The IRS is not concerned about what you do legally. If you are in business for yourself, if you are making money for yourself, not as an employee, then you are a business owner and the IRS considers you that way. And so my rule of thumb is that, well, if the IRS is going to consider me as a business owner anyway, if I'm going to be taxed as a business owner anyway, if they were to audit me, they're treating me as I am a business owner and going to expect that I have been operating as such, then why not treat myself as such? Why not treat myself as the business owner that the IRS sees me? Because if they were to come audit you, they're not going to accept, oh, I was just doing this on the side. I didn't know. Oh, I was just an independent contractor. I didn't know. That's not the IRS concern because they also provide education on their website telling you that you must keep records. You must have a method of keeping up with your records, your income, and your expenses, because that is how they're going to tax you. The IRS tells you this, okay? And if it's not the IRS fault if you didn't go on their website to read it, because it's public, it's out there for the public. You can pull it up for yourself. So with that in mind, now that I got that out the way, If the IRS is going to treat you as a business owner, then why not you treat yourself as a business owner and protect what you are doing, even if it's part-time? Things can happen when you're doing something part-time in business. Things can happen. You don't have to be full-time in business for something to happen. You can make a mistake doing something on the side. You can. Okay, you are subject to the same rules and expectations. Okay, so, sorry, I get a little passionate about that because I don't want you to minimize what you're doing. You shouldn't water down what you're doing. You're literally helping people from a mental standpoint change their life. That cannot be watered down. Okay, that cannot be, you cannot shrink in that role. That is something major, right? And I know in the industry, they're not making it seem like it's a major thing that all you have to do is just wake up and start seeing clients and that's it. And that's not all. That's not all it is. You are literally changing someone's life. Protect what you're doing. That's simply what the LLC, that's simply what the PLLC does. It does not stop there with getting that legal structure, because you also want to make sure that you're not commingling your funds, you're not using your personal accounts for business, and vice versa. I mean, there's still layers of protection, but that's just the basis of it. That's just the basis. So there's no comparison when you think about, should I be an LLC or a PLLC or an S-Corp? That is not the comparison that you want to use. It's, should I be a sole proprietor or should I be an LLC, PLLC? That is that's the comparison that you want to use. So now that we got that established, when you think about S-Corp, now an S-Corp is not a legal entity. In order to be an S-Corp, you must be an LLC or PLLC already. You must be a corporation already, okay? Because that's another structure as well, business structure. And when you think about becoming an S-Corp, oftentimes people keep thinking that this is an entity, like a business structure entity that you need to be in, and it's not. It is simply a tax strategy. And I think I can blame the internet for this, for not explaining and highlighting to you all that being an S corp is a tax strategy. It's not something that you're necessarily thinking about when you're starting your business. When you're starting your business, you're always looking at, should I be an LLC? Should I be a PLLC? That's the basis of it, okay, or a corporation. That is the basis of it. After you are in your business, after you are making revenue, which is making money, after that, then you can start establishing, what tax strategies can I use to help me save money on taxes, to help keep the IRS out of my pocket? What tax strategies can I use? Should I hire my family? Should I invest in retirement accounts? Should I invest in certain programs? Should I become an S Corp and put myself on payroll? That is a tax strategy, and the S Corp is a tax strategy. It's not the only tax strategy. That's what people fail to realize. They glamorize and they highlight S Corp to no end. But it's just one strategy. There are other tax strategies that you can use. That's why when I see that question, it kind of irks me a little bit, I'll be honest, because it's limiting your potential to explore all the tax strategies that you have available to you. The S corp is not the only tax strategy that exists. Actually, depending on where you are financially, it could actually be a hindrance to you. Becoming an S corp could actually be a hindrance to you because it could prevent you from using other tax strategies the way that you should use them, right? For example, like hiring your family, like if you were to hire your kids in just the LLC and PLLC structure, you can hire your kids tax free up until the standard deduction, which is around 15 or so $1,000 per child. Okay, you can hire your child and pay them tax free. Your kid doesn't have to pay taxes on it. You don't have to pay taxes on it. But in the S corp structure, if you were to hire your kids, you are subject to paying Social Security and Medicare taxes, which makes you spend more money. right? So that's what I'm saying. S-Corp is just one type of strategy. It's not the only thing that you can do to help you decrease the amount of taxes that you pay to the IRS. It is not the only thing. There are multiple things that you can do, right? And then when it comes to S-Corp, it's not the one all be all either. Because let's say after you've done all you could do, after you've hired your children, after you've hired your spouse, after you've invested in retirement accounts, after you've done all the other types of strategies that you can do without becoming an S corp to save you money on taxes, depending on what your net profit is, even the S corp is not a good fit for you. Oftentimes people are not talking about C corps, right? And that's because they don't truly understand the true benefits of being a C corporation. Oftentimes a C corporation is going to be better for people who have a high net profit. Because if you're in the S corp, what you fail to realize is that the S corp, your net profit, you pay personal taxes on that. So if your net profit as an S corp is, let's say, $100,000, that $100,000 is getting passed over to your personal tax return, right? And then it's going to be combined with all the other income you have with your spouse and any other sources of income that you may have personally, and that could easily put you in the 30s tax bracket. But when you are a C corporation, that 100,000 net profit, it only stays at the C corp level. It's only taxed at 21%. It's not passed on to anywhere else. You only are responsible for what you paid yourself in W2 income, and if you happen to withdraw some money out as a dividend, that's the only thing you're responsible for. You're not responsible for that, all of the net profit going over to your personal return. And this is things that I break down in our Understanding Small Business Taxes training. I'm just trying to give you an overview so you can understand that the two are not equal. Should I be an LLC or a PLLC or an S Corp? Those are not equal. The S Corp is in a whole nother category. That's a tax strategy. At the basis, you're looking at, should I be an LLC, PLLC, or should I just stay as a sole proprietor or a DBA? That is the comparison that you want to do. That's the appropriate comparison. Okay, so I hope I cleared it up. I hope I cleared it up for you so you can understand. Oh, I'm not comparing should I be an S Corp. I only need to look at an S Corp when I'm looking at tax strategies, right? When I'm looking at how can I keep the IRS out of my pockets? Should I do an S Corp or should I implement some other strategies to help me save money without even becoming an S Corp? That's how you should look at things. That's how you should look at things. And like I said, I blame the internet for not giving you that analogy. But now that you have it, now that you have the language, now that you have the knowledge on how to move forward, now the question should change for you. It should shift for you. Okay. So again, I hope something I said today, I hope it blesses you. I hope you are able to have clarity on what to do within your business so that you can be financially successful, so that you can run your business without being an imposter. Because I'm seeing that people are running their businesses being an imposter. You do not have to be an imposter. Okay. Your clients, they see that on the outside if you didn't know. Your clients can sense when you're not doing something right within yourself. They can sense that. Just like you can sense it in other people that something is off about them, your clients can sense that. That's why it's important that you are doing what you're supposed to do as the business owner that the IRS sees you as. And it's up to you to make that mental shift. It's up to you to make that mental shift that if the IRS sees me this way, then why can't I see me as this way? Why can't I see me as this way if the IRS is seeing me as this way? Listen, I can go into a whole live about that, but I'll pause there. If you have any questions for me, feel free to leave them in the comments and I'll come back to them to answer them for you. If you want to shoot me a DM, a direct message, you can do that as well on Facebook. You can also email me at info@gradytaxplus.com if you have additional questions. Now, we are in the tax season, so as I move to my call to action and then my benediction for the end, we are in the tax season, right? If you are someone who you're like, Chastity, I need you. Okay, just simply put, I need you to help me. I don't want the IRS in my pockets. I don't understand all of the ins and outs of what it's like to file my taxes as a business owner. I need support. I need guidance. In the comments, so we actually just had a informational session last night, and the next one would be in 2 weeks. That's on March the 4th. Okay, March the 4th will be our next informational session for you to learn what's it's like to work with my company. I'll show you the back end of my systems. I'll show you the portal that you'll be working out of, kind of showing you what it looks like, getting you familiar, and answering any tax or business finance questions that you may have. Okay. In addition to that, I go over the pricing. The pricing is already on my website, but if you need clarity on what that pricing looks like, then I share that with you as well. Okay, I offer price transparency, so anything I do is going to be on the website. You don't have to get on a call with me personally to ask me what is the price. It is on the website. Okay, that's how we do business. But then if you're someone, you're like, you know what, Chastity, I've seen your name come up. I've seen people recommend you. I've heard your voice. I've watched your videos. And I know that you are the one to help me. I don't need to go to your informational session. I don't need to get on the call with you. I just need to decide. I just need to make the decision that I'm moving forward with you. Okay. And if you are someone who hear my voice and you know that you're supposed to be shepherded by me in this season, then in the comments, I put the link directly to my tax services page. On my tax services page, that is where you can actually choose your tax package so that you can become a part of the Grady Tax Plus family, okay? So that you can become a part of the Grady Tax Plus family, so that I can shepherd you in this season, so that I can prepare your taxes in this season. That link is in the comments. Most people fall under the gold package. The gold package is if you are a sole proprietor, LLC, PLLC, you're not an S-Corp, then that one is for you. Okay, you just have the one business. You're not a PL. I'm sorry, you're not a S corp or a partnership. That's what I'm trying to say. Then the gold is for you. The gold is for you. If you have more than one type of business, maybe you're a social worker, but then you're also a travel agent, then you will use the platinum. Okay, you will use the platinum. So that link is directly on my website. Once you sign on with us, we'll give you access to your client portal, and that's where we communicate with you. It's not a portal where you send a message and you think no one's going to respond. No, we're going to respond. Okay, so that's where we do all the things in the portal. That's where you upload your documents, and then we will meet one-on-one if you choose, because I give you options on how to deliver the tax return to you. We'll meet one-on-one or two-on-one if you have a spouse, and go through your return line by line, explaining to you how I prepared it, where I put all of the information that you gave me. What does that look like on the return? I show you the picture of what it looks like, of how we put everything in the frame. Okay, I show you that, and then if all is well, if no changes are needed, if we don't need to add anything or whatever, then we'll file. I'll give you the return to sign, and we will file, and you will be on your way closing out 2025. Because if you didn't know, the longer you go without filing any tax return for any tax year, the longer that year is lingering in your system, the longer that year, the weight of that year is weighing over you until you file that return that closes out that year, because that's the last thing that you do is you file a return to close out that year. The faster you're able to close out that year, the faster you're able to focus on what 2026 has for you. Okay, many of you, this live was supposed to start ending, but let me go this way. Many of you have not really stepped into 2026, and we're already going into the third month already in just a couple weeks. Many of you have not stepped into 2026 because you still have the past. You still have the past lingering on you. You haven't dealt with your bookkeeping. You haven't dealt with anything of the sorts, and it's weighing on you. It's weighing on you. You know you need to do it. You know you need to do it, but you haven't done it yet. The faster you address, the faster you face the past, the faster you can get closer to your destiny that's waiting for you in 2026. So the links are in the comments. I will also go ahead and put If you do want a one-on-one consultation with me, those do come with an investment. That's why I do my informational sessions for free, because those are free. But my anytime you want a one-on-one time with me, that typically does come with an investment. So I'll go ahead and put that link in the comments if you desire to have that. Otherwise, the free informational session is there for you. And then if you're like, I don't need to do all of that, I already know that you're the one, Chastity, then the link to get started is there as well. So as I get ready to close with my benediction, many of you who know who I am or follow me or have watched any of my videos, then you know that I am a follower of Jesus. Now, what does that mean for you? That means that you just need to know where my help comes from. Everything that I do concerning my business, everything I do concerning where how I operate my business, Jesus, God, they're at the forefront. And the reason why I have to tell you that is because I'm in the position where I've been commissioned to where I have to share the good news. I have to share the good news, and it's actually becoming almost a burden to me. I won't say almost. It's becoming a burden to me when I am not operating in my purpose, or I'm not operating in my calling, right? And so I have to seize the opportunity to make sure that someone knows the good news. And I'm going to give you a scripture that we're referencing in this season to not only help you with your business, because it helps you with your business, but also just to give you lights, just to give you hope. Okay, so in John chapter 10, the Jews, they were questioning Jesus, and they were like, hey, how long are you going to keep our soul in suspense? If you are the Christ, then just tell us. And Jesus said to them, I told you, but you did not believe me. The works that I do, they testify concerning who I am, but you do not believe me because you are not my sheep. My sheep hear my voice, and I know them, and they follow me. And I'll pause there. So, when in business, if you're someone who you're like, you know what, I'm trying to get clients, I'm trying to increase my caseload, I'm trying to do all the things, right? But nothing seems to be working. I want to challenge you and question you to ask you, are people hearing your voice? Are people hearing your voice? And the reason being is because the scripture says that, and the reason why I also bring up the scripture, because I use biblical principles to operate my business. And the scripture says that when they hear your voice, okay, when they hear your voice, if people are not hearing your voice, if you are not showing up live, if you are not posting videos, if you are not speaking in public for people to hear your voice, then how are they supposed to know that you are the one for them? How are they supposed to know that you are the one for them? I'm just going off what the scripture says. That's why I show up Monday through Friday, giving you a live, because the people who are supposed to work with me, they need to hear my voice to know that I am the one, right? And I will say this, you don't have to be a follower of Jesus to work with me whatsoever. You just need to know that I am. You just need to know that I am, okay? You just need to know that I am. And the people who know that they hear my voice and they follow me, then I know you're the one for me. The reason being is because I have worked with people who did not hear my voice. I accepted people as a client who did not hear my voice. When I say hear my voice, meaning I gave a certain instruction, but you did not follow, and there was a disconnect. That means we're not meant to go together. When you are meant to work with someone, there won't be a disconnect. You can tell your clients to do something and they're going to follow. That's what the scripture says. They hear my voice and they follow me. They're gonna follow. But if you say something to them and they don't follow, but then if somebody else says something, the same thing to them, and they follow them, then they're meant for that other person. But they wouldn't know that if they don't hear your voice, right? So you can't be hiding behind just making posts and posting flyers, because the people, they don't hear that. They don't hear that. And they also need to hear your voice to even give sound to the text post that you're making, right? You know how when someone makes a post, and because you know how they talk, you can read that post in their language, in the way that they're talking. It's because you heard their voice. Otherwise, when you haven't heard their voice, let me give y'all an example of this, because this is really good. I had posted a post in this cooking group to be controversial, to be spicy, to get some engagement, okay? And the people, they were chewing me up in the comments. They were chewing me up in the comments, and I'm like, listen, it is not that deep. Laugh. It's not that deep. And then somebody had commented, and I felt led to say, this is how I responded. I said, hey sis, you know, I remember saying, hey sis, this is not what I meant by that. You know, I'm good. I don't need the advice. And then she just came at with me. She was like, well, you shouldn't have. This is how I read it, because I don't know I don't know her voice, but in her words, she came at me with an attitude. And then I had to respond. I said, hey, I'm not against you. I'm not your enemy. Okay? Essentially, I am not your enemy. You don't know my voice, so you don't know how I was texting the message back to you, because you don't know my voice, and that's okay. And because you don't know my voice, you don't know the tone, you don't know the sound that was behind the message. And then she apologized to me. She was like, you're right. I'm sorry. I tend to be on the defense. People need to listen. If that don't encourage you enough, because sometimes people will be on the defense with you because they don't know your voice. You got to start putting your voice out there, so the people who's supposed to work with you, who's supposed to be connected with you, they hear your voice. Okay? They hear your voice. But ultimately, if you hear Jesus's voice, if you feel led to follow Jesus's voice, then do so. Then do so. So that completes today's live. I hope something today blesses you. I hope something I said resonated with you. I hope something that I said inspires you to make a decision on what it is that you need to do for your business. We are here Monday through Friday. On Mondays, we do Motivational Mondays. On Tuesday, we do Tax Therapy Tuesday. Wednesday, Wellness Wednesday. Thursday, Talk to Me Thursday. And on Friday, we do Fire Your Boss Fridays, so that you can fire your boss for good one day if you so desire to, which I know you do, because that's why you're in business, ultimately, to one day fire your boss for good. And on Fridays, I give you the tips, tools, and resources you need to do so for good, so that you're not looking for a job the next day. Okay, so we will be here on Friday for our Fire Your Boss Friday, and I will see you in our next video.